Hallelujah.
Why do all men think this?
All men think this, boy. All men think, yes, it's on. It's on. Like, I was a happy man. Guess I don't go to sleep. A bit about myself. I don't go to sleep naked. I don't do that. I used to wear, satin. Wear satin to the bed. And then wife's like, nah, man, take it off. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Let's take it off. And she's like, good night. What do you mean good night? What do you mean good night? Like, I'm here.
Hello.
I'm ready to go. What do you mean? We're ready to go. What do you mean? Like, and that was new to me. And so it got to a point where it's like, put on the light, click. Babe, we gotta talk. Because not that I can't run, but this is my expectation. I expect if we're gonna be starkers in the bed right now, something's going down. That's my expectation.
You owe me now.
Hey, listen, you set me up, right? And so it was a very real conversation. And I bring this conversation up because I don't think guys can be that honest. Some guys can, I'm glad they can, but I've talked to some people and I kid you not, sex for them is a taboo topic area. It's big. And I'm not surprised it keeps coming up because it is a taboo area. But I bring it up because
expectations.
Yeah, man. I bring it up because of expectations. I bring it up because, it can spiral off and lead to addiction elsewhere or being satisfied elsewhere. Porn, another woman, something else. Right. It will manifest itself.
That's right. It will.
Do you know what I mean? Eventually, it will manifest because you're not being satisfied and you're not content in that area. So that's one thing. That's one thing. And I do feel that one way of combating that is to talk about it, no matter how uncomfortable it is. Because my hope is that you've married someone, if she's not your best friend, I hope she's your best friend. Like, you've married someone you want to be with. So it's only right and it's only natural that you want to talk to them and, bare your heart out to them. I'd hope, right? Because, I think guys especially have a hard time being vulnerable. I don't know if you can attest to that, but...
Well, let me say this. I can. The way it started out, I wasn't very... Emotions don't do that.
Wow, okay.
Don't do emotions with me. Yep. That is partly who I am, but that's partly how I grew.
Okay.
Partly survival mechanism. It's just who I am now. Yep. Whatever it is, that's who I am. And so when it comes to being vulnerable, like emotions are... It's like taking off my clothes right now. In the freezing cold, seriously. And that caused problems. Yeah. And for me to even say, this is the communication side of it now. I need this. Yep. Or I want.
Okay. There's a difference.
Nope. I'm not doing it. And that is a kink. Now, believe me, I didn't know myself like that. And I knew that I was doing it, but I did not know how to stop.
You were holding back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pride, fear.
Yeah.
As I justified myself.
Yes. Yeah. I feel you actually, because even I talk about being vulnerable, and I am vulnerable in some respect. Like I feel I'm a good communicator, and I want to let my wife know how I'm feeling. But I mean, it's definitely hard, and I don't know whether it's because of our upbringing or what. But crying, for example, like you won't see me cry, bro. Like,
you don't cry.
You think no. Like I do.
You do cry. Okay.
But it will be at a funeral. Do you know, it'll be something really, I get a lump in the throat, and it's almost like, I don't know if it's a survival mechanism as well, but it's almost like my body locks up and I just can't bring it out. Yeah. Especially in...
You're pointing at me, she's pointing at me. I'm worse than that. I just don't cry. I'm sorry.
No tear ducts, nothing.
They're not there.
I don't know.
Unless Lewis Hamilton loses.
Boy, yo, listen.
Unless Lewis Hamilton loses.
All right.
If it lost that championship, I would have cried. Yeah. It's sad. It's sad. I was sad. Yeah.
I think. I don't know. Like, I went to a boys' school. Maybe maybe it is a bit of pride. You don't want to appear weak. Yeah. All that sort of stuff, but the fact that it's an involuntary reflex for me, and I want to feel it because it lets my wife know that I'm also feeling a certain way also, and that in itself is comforting. But I need to let her know that just because you don't see me crying doesn't mean that I'm not feeling the loss. I'm not feeling the pain, not feeling the heartache.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, especially, again, just touch on this child loss situation. I don't know if this is bad to say, but I feel like the hardest thing for me in that situation was that I couldn't change God's mind. That was the hardest thing for me. I couldn't change God's mind. Like, I can pray and pray and pray, but whatever was happening, and I couldn't change it, and I felt powerless. And that feeling wasn't good. It wasn't a good feeling. And I felt like, I'm out of control. I don't have control in this situation. You know, more often than not, I can probably ask my wife to do something, you know, so there's an element of control there. I can ask her to go and drop this to me at the post office or whatever. So I've given her instruction. It's on her to do it now. But in this one, it's completely out of my hands and I can't do anything about it. Like, that was tough.
Yeah.
But I mean, I had to communicate that to my wife. That was hard for me. And I think she then sort of understood, you know, more about how I process information, possibly, and how I handle situations. Because I also feel as a man, you know, that protector side of me kicks in. It just kicks in, like.
What are you protecting?
Like, I have to protect my wife. Like, I have to protect her in terms of, you know, if she's not in her right frame of mind because she's highly emotional, then I need to be the one that's talking to the doctors and making sure I'm screening everything, asking the right questions. You know, I'm there as a shoulder for her to cry on. So I'm there for the hugs. What you need me to do? What you need me to do, you know? And give, you know, words of counsel or words of encouragement, you know, trying to help and trying to protect.
You're a protector.
Yeah, just protect her in whatever situation it might be. I feel that's probably how I am. I think I get that vibe from you also as well. I'm not sure if that is how you are, but similar?
I've had to learn it.
Because what was your default before?
That she's strong enough. Because I don't do vulnerability. So I assumed that she would take up the same mindset that I had.
Seen.
And that's the long way around the mountain. You know, the mountain that we're trying to climb, I'm going a long way.
Right.
I'm not equipped.
Right.
And so whenever she was vulnerable, I'm like, hello, snap out of it. Now, I wasn't horrible. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't a horrible man.
I won't be here filming.
Right.
Boy.
So I wasn't horrible. I just that it is seen as insensitive.
Yes.
Which it is in a sense, but it's not.
It wasn't in malice. It wasn't out of malice.
No, it's just, hello, things could be worse. Let's go.
So as time was progressing, did you realize in, say, your relationship that your wife handles things a bit differently to you and therefore needed a different approach? I won't say needed more TLC because everyone's different, but needed a different approach. Because what you was doing may have not been working for her.
I didn't know what her needs were until we were married, until about a year in. I know that might sound scary. We got married after
6 months?
No, I proposed after 4, married after, from the time we kind of became partners.
Oh, okay.
So a year and a bit. No, tell me.
9 months, isn't it? 9 months.
9 months till we was married. So we got married pretty quick.
Okay.
And I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
But there was absolutely no kind of prep in terms of for me.
No pre-marriage classes or anything like that?
We did, but I think that we needed more.
Okay.
And I needed work.
Okay.
So
why did that work not happen before? Was it just because you were you were caught up in the whole we're getting married? Like?
Partly, but it's easy to get married. You like someone.
Yes.
You like the way they walk and talk, and then you make your plans, and that is a honeymoon phase.
Yes.
And then when you get married,
reality kicks in.
Reality kicks in. You start treading each other's toes, and so my ability to now was tough. Now I'm seeing her properly vulnerable.
Yes.
It's a chore for me It's holding us back. It's slowing us down. It's like progress. Let's move on.
This is your perception of the situation.
It's my perception. Now, believe me when I say 17 years married.
Wow.
Still learning.
Wow.
I'm still learning.
Yes.
And I am who I was in principle,
Yes.
but I'm just more conscious.
Okay. Okay.
I'm still quite hard, but I have to intentionally be softer.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why did you not cut out when things were difficult? I hear a lot about people's first year of marriage is hard work, boy. Da, 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 da. That wasn't my experience. But it seems to have been your experience. It was hard because you had to.
Not quite.
Okay.
It wasn't, the first year wasn't really hard.
Okay.
It was
A learning curve.
a year and a half actually. Think about it, the year and a half and then we got pregnant.
Okay.
Then it's about the baby.
Yep.
Then I got into a court case.
Okay. Yep.
Did some time, 4 years on bail.
Wow.
So we were holding together a lot. A little bit of wrestling between us, but we were focused on holding together and growing our kids. Had my second kid, 2007, and it was about a kid in a court case again. And then I did time, come out, trying to get my life together.
Yep.
And I think that was the real kind of beginning of differences that we could see.
Did you answer my question?
I don't know. Why
I understand
why
a lot
didn't
happened.
because
Maybe it's
in the
even for your-
in the first year,
Yeah.
a lot happened. So we didn't have time we didn't really get to have the
Yeah.
conflict that was really rocking us. It happened a little bit down the line.
But even in that, I suppose what I'm trying to get to is somehow, some way, the both of you had this staying power. I know enough couples that ain't surviving this.
Right.
This
so,
scenario.
So this is it. I think what I'm getting to is that although the conflict that we would have had in the first is not enough to bust out. It was later down the line when the dust was settling,
Yeah.
we start to see each other is.
Yes. Yeah.
That's where it was a bit of a, hold on, what's going on here?
Okay.
5, 6, 7 years in. And we really, there was no, it's like this conversation, I couldn't have this conversation. There was no one around to say left or right. We didn't have a family culture of, you know, like some cultures, family get together.
Of course,
we didn't have that.
Right. It was just you lot against the world, basically.
Right. And making sense of it. And although the thought may have come to me to say, this isn't right. I was just not gonna quit. Why? There was stuff there our kids as well. So there's reasons why I stuck around. But I would say there were points
Yep.
where you get a flash of grace.
Okay.
Like, you know what? It's not that bad.
Yes.
And so God gave us a time to recuperate
Yeah.
with the anger,
Yep.
with the frustration, to just take a breath and say, you're gonna be all right.
So, divorce for you guys, irrespective of the situation, from what I'm getting and from what you're saying, wasn't really an option. Like, you've gone into this with the conviction that we're going the whole way, regardless of what comes our way. Is that fair to say?
It's funny you say that because the conviction I had when I started,
Yeah.
the conviction I had at year 5,
Yeah.
the conviction I had at 10,
Yes.
15 years,
Yes.
they're different.
Okay.
The conviction was, how can I put this? I'm going to cut this, don't worry. I'm going to edit this nicely.
Hey, come on now.
Conviction was there's no fire exit. Let me not put words.
Yeah, I mean, this is something I said.
I really want to ask your wife, to be fair, as well, but yeah, go ahead.
This is something, we'll do a video together one day, man. I said this to Juanita, she uses the term all the time more than me, but I said to Juanita, no matter how bad it gets,
Yes.
we're not ending this. Moments of intent,
Yeah.
I'm not leaving you. I actually don't know where I'm going anyway. The truth is,
For real.
where was I going to go?
Yes.
Really?
Okay. Okay.
Where was she going to go? Look, we've done this for a few years now. We've been together 5 years. Where are you going? So believe me when I say there's a mindset
Yeah.
which are boundaries that I've put in my mind
Yeah.
to stop me from messing up.
But you know what? I feel that some people have messed up less than you, and have, maybe this is not even a question for this, but have messed up less than yourself, let's just say, myself, whatever, and have chose to throw in the towel.
Yeah.
And I want to know,
What's the difference
Yeah,
between us and
like
them?
basically-
Or yourself and...
yes.
Because a lot of husbands can't say their wife, I want to go home to my wife. I don't often hear that.
Okay, yep, I hear that.
I could spend all day answering this question because there's a lot of things that I've done to be resilient,
Yeah.
intentionally. So, we don't have enough tape. You know? But if I was to ask you, like,
Yeah.
how do you get past those lows? What do those lows mean to you?
You know what? In my life, it's funny again. I talk about how God's put us together, right? And there's been so many scenarios where the confirmation has come. I've dealt with a hell of a lot more drama with other girls of the past than I have with my wife. Like, I remember one time, she'll even tell you herself, like, early in our marriage, I think we had a heated debate or heated talk or whatever, and then she was... Boy, hey, listen, it didn't come to blows, thank God. It didn't come to blows, you know what I mean? But it was
His fist was like this, but he never swung.
I was like, yo, no, it was a deep one.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh my God, he's gonna leave me now. I'm like, whoa, who's leaving who?
That's what I'm saying.
What are you talking about?
Where am I going?
And the thing is, what I've now realized, it was because of the different upbringing. She never saw her parents argue as such. She was telling you the other day, the children would go to an auntie's house and the parents would go off and have dinner, and they would sort of thrash out in public where they can't throw blows. You know what I mean? Like, they sort it out themselves. In my household, my dad's getting cussed on a regular. Like, it's a normal thing.
So Rex just lets it out.
So that was the difference. Like, it was cool. Let's just talk. We have this discussion or debate or argument, whatever, and then it will die down and we'll keep it moving. But for her, it was like, oh my God, that's it. Like, no, it's not. The thing is, you don't even need to call divorce into being. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Like, of course, there may be some crazy situations that present themselves to us. But I mean, it's just, I never say the word. I've probably said it more times here than I have all year. Like, it's just not an option. It's just not an option. Full stop. So I personally think going in with that sort of mindset, I'm going in with a mindset of once and one for all. Once and once for all.
This is it. But we haven't even answered the question.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because when a guy is like, I don't want to do this anymore. I remember there were moments, and I say that they were this big, this big. Moments where I was like, this is a mistake. Because I couldn't see past it.
Okay, yeah.
Do you get me?
This is in the marriage?
In the marriage, in the earlier years, much earlier, like well early.
Yeah.
There were moments, and I remember, maybe this is his encouragement, yeah? I remember that once we had solved it,
Yes.
or at least spoke about it,
Yeah.
once the anger had drifted, I remember in the early days thinking, hold on a minute, we're all right now. And the contrast of, I've made a mistake.
Cut this off, yeah.
To 5 minutes later, or even with me back in the day, 24 hours. Thinking, what the heck where am I going? I remember one day I clicked in my head, I said, you know what? Conflict is temporary.
Yes. Yeah.
Conflict is temporary. And that means that we now, after 17 years, we will argue.
Yes.
But
Guaranteed.
I'm like, I'm just going to get to the resolution stage a lot quicker.
Yeah.
I don't need to be thinking mistake.
Yes.
Why? Because I know that in 5 minutes' time, it's done.
It's done. Let's move on.
You understand?
I'm fully